We have all made one or two excuses in our lives, but are those excuses really valid? Can you really say, or can one really say, that you don't have the money, the time, or the right people? In Gary Vee's latest book release, Crushing It, he's talking about how he let his team search for the main reasons that people say they aren't crushing it at the moment, and he basically sent them out to look into the comment section of the content that they're putting out, and they found about 20 of them. So I don't get as many messages or comments that Gary does, but I do get some messages where people are explaining why they are not starting their business or why they are not succeeding. And I think the most important thing is that you don't make those excuses, and stop making those excuses and be like Gary Vee. Over time, I've collected some comments, some messages, and I stored them for myself because I thought it was very important for later reference. And here are 4 of those excuses that people make, but are they really valid excuses? And we're going to dissect each and every one of them, and we're going to look at them under a microscope. All right? Are you making any of these excuses? Number 1, I don't know the right people. Everyone starts at a different point. Some of us are born into a family with a lot of connections, and most of us, or majority of us, aren't born into families that have a lot of connections or have a serious amount of resources. Not only is this excuse far from the truth, it is outright. And reading stories from books such as Power of Broke, Rise and Grind, Crushing It, Crush It, The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes, and all these other amazing books like Tools of Titans, Tribe of Mentors, they all have stories from people that start from nothing, flat broke, not knowing what to do or where to start or who to talk to, and eventually being able to pick themselves up and rise and succeed. Now, you may not know the right people at the moment. I give you one challenge, and that is to find one person, only one person, that can help you further with your goal, and give your time for their advice. And that's basically one challenge that you have. If you don't know the right people at the moment, there is no excuse, especially not this one. And like Damon John says, whether it's you that's broke or the times that are broke, it's easier to understand that nothing is going to be handed to you. Number 2, I'm not smart enough. Most people overestimate their intelligence, and people who underestimate their intelligence are actually smarter than they think they are. If you're able to question, you are able to solve problems. And if you're able to solve problems, you're smart enough to actually make something of yourself. Number 3, I'm waiting for the right time. I will wait till I get my degree. I will wait till I meet this person. I will wait till I have this particular achievement, or I wait till I have this certain amount of money. And I think this is the worst excuse of all. The right moment is right now. As a person who've used this excuse before, I've literally told myself that you need to have an F it moment. A moment where you're mentally gonna throw yourself into the first step of making your dreams a realization.
Lee's new muscle. And don't let this robe fool you. This is the only color they had left. Now I said get up. I ain't gonna say it again.
No matter how small your start is, if you take that first step, it will accumulate over time. And after that first step, it will become 20 steps. And that's a leap from where you were actually starting off in the first place. Number 4, I don't have the time. What will you say to a mother who has 2 kids and is juggling 2 jobs to make sure she can feed her family, and you are a student who is broke but doesn't have any major responsibilities? Now, I can literally make millions of these, but what I want to say is that we shouldn't really compare situations like this, but it really does give perspective on how there's a fine line between not actually having time and prioritizing certain aspects in your life. If you truly say that your goal is to make $1 million business, then your actions every single day should reflect that particular goal. And literally, if you're complaining about not having time, I don't think that you want it that bad, because there are a million stories out there of people who are juggling major responsibilities such as work or taking care of sick loved ones or both, and them grinding outside of that as well by prioritizing certain aspects of their lives and deprioritizing other aspects of their lives. Make sure to make sure that they make the sacrifice for a later goal that they want to achieve. I've literally seen firsthand people that have juggled kids, jobs, and making a business, but also people who lead several businesses. And plus, reading the stories of so many different people from so many different walks of life that had many different obligations and major responsibilities in their life and still succeeding means that you can do it too. And I think that this excuse shouldn't be one that you should make, and it isn't one that should stop you from achieving your goals. Now, from my perspective, it's that of course we're not perfect, and we're always going to have moments of weakness. But make sure that you don't make these excuses, because these excuses are really or have no valid basis. And I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who really have problems and really are dealing with issues. And I'm not really going into those particular situations. I'm talking about people who in reality are just not prioritizing some things properly. Especially if you have a certain goal and you propagate that you want to achieve a certain goal, but you're not willing to make those sacrifices.